Most people don't know what goes into architecture, what can separate one firm from another firm. So today, I'm sitting down with the guy who started it all, my dad, to talk about what really makes P Architect so different. So, hope you guys enjoy. All right, so let's start from the beginning. What inspired you to create your own architecture business?
Well, going to University of Miami, graduating as an architect, I started working for a couple of different companies, also with my father, who was an engineer, and other architects, gaining valuable experience through all gamut and all aspects of architecture and engineering. So during that process is when I went ahead and went and took my licensing exam and got, to become a licensed architect. And working with different clients, liked my aspect of how I approached architecture, how I combined it with other engineering elements and so forth. And then they kind of inspired me that it's time for me to branch out and work on my own. So that's when I broke out and, created my own company.
So I know that you've been doing this for quite a while, so I think over 30 plus years. What would you say separates you as an architect as well as our firm compared to other architects or other architecture firms?
Well, that's a good question. First of all, our firm is very creative, but another important aspect is that we actually work in all aspects of the actual planning stage, not just architectural, but we also do structural, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, design in-house. So a lot of firms will just sub out those attributes to other consultants. So on our firm, we tend to keep everything in-house. So that helps the client, that keeps everything controlled and in check with the architectural and the engineering side, which makes for a nicely, a combined project type aspect.
And I know when it comes to that client relationship, it's super important for you. It's one of the things that you stress on having excellence in. How do you, as an architect, especially the leader in the business, how do you make the client feel like they're being taken care of throughout the entire process?
Well, one of the problems that you have between a client relationship, between the client and the architect, sometimes the architect has too much of a high ego within his designs. And when he completes a project, it's his way or no way type scenario. And the clients sometimes get shunned out in making certain decisions, which is kind of forced upon by the architect. So in our case, we kind of, all architects have ego, but in my case, I try to look just not what I would like this project to be, but I also try to blend the wishes and desires from the client and kind of make it a more cohesive, design in which the client will love it and say this is, their most incredible project they've ever seen. And we feel good because we do not provide something that is, not a great project at all. We try to sit there and make it architecturally appealing, make sure it's functional, and yet that it meets all the requirements from the clients.
Yeah, so provide quality as well as it's not a individual effort, it's more of a team effort, whether it's client, contractor, and our end as well.
Right.
And then when it comes to the contractor end, why do contractors like working with us and collaborating with us?
Again, the ego is a big factor. A lot of contractors, especially contractors, have big conflicts with the architects. So we are contractor friendly in that we try to resolve problems instead of create problems with the contractor. So if there's a problem that arises in the field, we'll try to look and see if there's a way to come to a median type of a factor to correct the situation of the problem. Another aspect is that since everything is done in-house, from the architecture all the way to the engineering, the project is a lot more cohesive, and we always catch certain problems that arise when an architect hires another subcontractor, and then the plans, the structural guy did one thing, the mechanical guy did another, the architect did another, and in reality on the field sometimes those things clash. So when we do everything in-house, we kind of try to mitigate those little problems that arise, and contractors love that, because everything's in-house. So if they have a problem with structure, they don't have to go out and reach out to a structural engineer. They can come into our firm, and we can sit there and resolve it a lot more quicker and more efficient in that aspect.
Yeah, and contractors in general, they're working with so many subcontractors too. So you can only imagine that they're reaching out to so many people on that end that now you're going to add more engineers and structural, and you have one problem here. I can imagine that it can be a pain sometimes. So.
Sure.
Okay, and to wrap everything up, I guess the last thing that I would ask you is, if someone is looking for an architecture service or looking to build a home, a commercial space, whatever it might be, what's one thing that you would like them to know about you as an architect and maybe the business as well?
Well, going by all my previous clients, they always come out with a incredible feeling that we were there to support them, and we had their best interests at heart, So that's how we are. We're an architectural firm. We're a small firm, but we're kind of family oriented, and then we treat the client almost as if they're family, type scenario. And again, because we blend all the aspects of architecture, engineering, and so forth, the clients love that, because everything's in-house and they don't have to go and try to mitigate things with different consultants. So that's kind of one of the key aspects of really going with PA Architect, that everything is in-house and everything is cohesive and clear-cut, on it. And obviously our design work is top-notch, as well.
Yeah, and I mean, when it comes to any business in general, right? I mean, people can deliver services. Obviously, you need a good product, but I think the thing that sometimes some people forget about is the client experience, right? The client experience is so important, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that we're making it for.
Correct.
So if we give them the best process and the best experience, then what's there not to like about it? So yeah, thank you for your time. I appreciate you, and I guess we'll see you in the next video. If you got something out of this, or just enjoyed seeing how we do things a little differently, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment with your thoughts or questions down below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.